Had you asked me a few years ago what my favorite game was, it would have been a clear and resounding Ocarina of Time. Between the nostalgia factor, iconic music, beautiful story, and infinite replayability, Legend of Zelda was very formative in my young mind. But this isn't a review of Ocarina of Time, this is a review of my new favorite game, Hollow Knight. What started in 2014 as a Kickstarter by Team Cherry, Hollow Knight gained immense support with the online community before its eventual PC release in 2017 and port to consoles in 2018. Hollow Knight is a 2D platformer in the Metroidvania genre of gaming, but to my mind, it is so much more than that. With a beautiful art style, captivating music, and amazing gameplay, Hollow Knight is the type of game I'd love to see more of today. With so many massive, soulless AAA games being released so often you can practically set your watch by which Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty is currently sucking while it's dry with pre-orders, it's incredibly refreshing to see such a passion project of a game with no discernible limit to its shelf life. The world of Hollow Nest is so beautifully diverse, with several unique regions, each with their own unique ambiance, enemies, and lore. You have the starting town of Dirtmouth, you've got this little guy Elderbug who stands here by himself all lonely like. The music perfectly matches, and if you walk past him without talking to him, he reaches his little hand out like your grandpa at the retirement home after visiting hours, if you ever fucking visited. Don't worry though, as you progress through the game, you'll quickly find more people to save and bring back to town. Each new character brings a new addition to the lore of the game, which you really have to search for because this game doesn't sandblast your face holes with unskippable story scenes like so many other games. Zote, for example, this weak, pathetic excuse for a bug, can be rescued from one of the weakest bosses in the game, then spends the rest of his miserable life bragging about how amazing he is. That is, unless you leave his sorry ass to die, because you can. Team Cherry has so many options for the player in this game that you can decide what kind of tiny little bug knight you want to be. At no point in the game does the player feel like they're being handheld through the story like a Disneyland ride. You could theoretically play the entire game without learning one bit of lore if you're a soulless monster devoid of any love and joy, the two emotions this game inspires the most. Moving from Dirtmouth into the ruins below, you find the Forgotten Crossroads and start exploring for real. There's bosses and lower tier enemies that increase in difficulty as you, the player, get better. Not by any auto-leveling bullshit, no, just by the genius design of the game. But you don't want to practice, you're already a boss with a nail? Fine, hop up these spikes like an absolute mad lad and go fight this asshole of a boss and get your head kicked in for your hubris. Now go back, accept your money is gone, and practice, you absolute walnut. With all the detail crammed into this one section of the game, it's crazy to note that there are 14 other regions with their own enemy types, bosses, music, and atmosphere, each one better than the last, except for this claustrophobic nightmare with its hungry, screaming lower intestines. Every boss in the game can feel completely impossible until you've died 375 times, lost more money than your toddler brain can count, before you finally learn the attack patterns and get used to an ability loadout that works for you. Suddenly you've beat the boss without taking damage and received more endorphins than you've had since giving up on your dreams after high school. Every fight feels like a dangerous dance, like doing a tango with a time bomb. Each region's music is a perfectly crafted masterpiece that will leave you wanting more long after you've set the controller down. Just ask my Spotify. In Hollow Knight, you're never truly lost, you're just exploring. Unless you forgot to equip the compass, then good fucking luck. This game is somehow simultaneously incredibly relaxing and fucking infuriating, and I absolutely love it. At an insultingly low price of $15 with all DLC included, this masterpiece of a game would be a bargain at twice the price. At time of writing, I've bought this game 4 separate times, have 165.5 hours invested, and haven't gotten bored one single time. As a staunch opponent against predatory pre-order systems with a hatred for pre-orders in general, I can confidently say that when the game's sequel, Silksong, is available, I will pre-order it on every platform I own. You might say I have a problem, but fuck it, I also have a problem with drinking, that's why I combine the two. Overall, I have nothing bad to say about this game, and if you haven't already bought it, get your shit together and go install it immediately. While you wait for it to install, go watch our other videos where Logan won't let me cuss. 10 out of 10.